So today I'm going to do this portrait of this little girl. She's really cute. She's got this little pouty face. And these dark eyes. She was at this powwow I was at, and I got a picture of her during the dance, and I don't think she wanted to be out there, and she was just kind of standing there complaining to her mom. And she had the cutest little face. And so I'm hoping I can get a good likeness, which is nice, but I really want to play with skin tones and a little bit. She's got this really interesting little mood going here that I'm trying to get. And she's got this pattern going on the scarf that she's got on her head. And I think this is going to be fun. She's cute as a button. So I hope I do a good job, because if I pull this off, it's going to be a great painting. But when you start painting, you never know, if it's going to work or if it's not going to work. There's a lot of detail here that I want to try to get a good feel for where this is all going to go. So I'm just slowly building in all these little patterns. Got this little frown. I don't know, sometimes getting emotion can be the hardest thing of getting the mood. And but I think I can do it here. Got this really cool necklace going on. So we'll see. I'll play with this drawing a little longer, and then I'll start painting. So I'm going through the face now, and I'm slowly making adjustments on value. In some areas I'm lightening. Some areas I'm trying to add a little color to. And Make some nice, strong brushwork. It's just, I've got everything covered, and I'm just modifying what I have with very small brush strokes. Using real big brushes. Small ones. Get the value, anything that I want. Sometimes I get to the point to where I have to let things dry, but I'm not quite there yet. I want to keep everything nice and fresh. This is really nice and fresh. Beautiful brushwork. Yeah. Just work that in. Bring it back down. That's better. Sometimes it's just a small adjustment in the structure that I'm after. So I'm really looking at, bone and muscle and just skin, how that plays with the light. And so I'm just adjusting that structure, how all that works. This muscle goes up a little higher. And so I'll just continue working this. Just making small adjustments. I want that warmer. I'll probably spend most of the day today just playing with this, trying to get it to work. So I've been working on pulling this face together a little more, and it's getting there. It's pretty close to where I want it to be right now, and I'm just making small adjustments in different areas. Trying to add some color in some areas, and maybe a little less in others. You know, I'm thinking about how the light is bouncing around underneath this, you know, little Shaw thing. It's so there's, you know, it's very red in here, and so it's going to bounce around and make the face redder. And so I'm just adding little hints of that light bouncing in. Into the face. Yeah, that's just a little bit too dark. Lighten that just a little. That's a little better. So I've got some of this brushwork has some sharp edges on it, and some of this I want to blend in to the rest of the figure so it's not quite so choppy. And it's looking pretty good. Just making little, and I'm just making very slight little value changes. And so the thing about doing faces is subtlety. You know, trying to get these subtle transitions from going to shadow to highlight. You know, some areas you have a sharp edge to that transition. Some areas you want it to be very soft. So I'm working on that. Try to blend that a little here. Okay, too much. I'm just gonna get a little darker right there. It's getting there. And so what I need to do now is, now I'm fairly happy with how the face is going. I need to develop all the other areas, and that'll affect how you see the face. I may have to make some adjustments here, but I'm thinking I'm really nailing that face pretty good here. I'm pretty happy with how it looks now, but once I get more value in the rest of this painting, I'll be able to judge that a little better. Right now, this is more guesswork as far as what's happening, but I like that red there. Bring some of that up in here. Yeah. Sometimes you try stuff, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. And then the nice thing about paint is you can just paint over the top of it. I love it. Unlike many drawings where, once you put some of those marks on there, that's what you get. Go up higher. It's too dark there. There we go. It's a little better. So we're getting there. The big thing for me is I need to be patient. Sometimes I get a little anxious and I want to go, 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 go. And I need to slow down and be patient and let the painting develop. And I know that can be hard for some people. It's just, sometimes you have to take a break and step back. I like to hit everything as far as I can take it each day, and sometimes I get too tired and when I start messing up because I'm rushing. Yeah, that's better. Looks good. So now I'll have to develop a lot of patterns, things that are happening here, and get all this working with the negative space. And so I'm going to be switching to a bigger brush after I get some of this little detail, flowery stuff happening here. Looking good. My hope someday is to actually do a painting that is just beautiful. And, sometimes when I'm finished with the painting, I'm thinking, oh man, this is it. And a couple days later, I look at it and go, no, not quite yet. Still doesn't have that perfection of beauty. It's getting close, but it's still not always there. So I'm working on filling in a lot of this. I need to get some tone or value back here, even though this is probably not the final. And I want to blend this edge here so it's not a hard edge. And I want to just create a background that just has color and value, and I'm not going to try to represent any kind of landscape. I just want to play off of what's happening in here with things that are back here. So it's going to be a warmer, yellow ochre, white kind of combination of just throwing color back here. I could have some warmer reds in here maybe. I'm not gonna. I might do just a touch of maybe some blue, but the problem is with blue or yellow ochre it turns green. So I don't want a lot of that green in there. And we're just gonna, so I know this side the figure is going to be more shadow, this side's going to be more highlight. So whenever you want to try to create space, you have, you know, a dark negative space against a light foreground, or a light negative space against a dark foreground. So you're always playing light and dark off of each other. And that seems to work pretty good. It's not a hard, fast rule. It's just something that it's a convention that a lot of portrait artists will use. Yeah, that works. That grays that a little bit. And it's coming along. So adding this negative space really changes completely how I see a figure. And I'm definitely going to make this much lighter back here as I go along. Right now this is just the first coat, and I'll pull another coat after this dries a little bit over the top of this and try to build up some layers to make this work a little better. Right now this is just a quick rough coat back here. Blend that in a little more. And I just want to cover up this white. This white can really throw your eye off as far as judging how the figure's looking. And I need to add, the dress here is going to be blue. I need to start adding some of that in. I want this layer up here. And it's getting there. Yep, fun. So I have a lot of the detail in now. I'm pretty happy with how the pattern's turning out, and it's just a matter of dots and dashes in here. Don't want some of these too bright. But it's all coming together, you know. I have lots of little detail things to do. And a lot of that stuff you probably wouldn't be able to see on the video, but just because it wouldn't show very well. But essentially, for the video part, I would say I'm done. I'll probably spend another day or so playing around with some of this. I need to leave this background dry. I want to put some white over the top of this a little more. And that's not going to work. I'll have to just let that dry. And because I want to put another layer on some parts here. And I have lots of little detail things I want to do. Just to create little highlights. You know, just little highlight things that happen. And it's just adding those little things in there. But essentially, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I've got the poutiness of the girl. It seems to, it's almost what I was thinking of. You know, your mind's eye always sees something just beyond your reach very often. But I'm fairly satisfied with how everything is looking. I need to adjust colors and stuff yet, but some of that I can't do until I let it, this first layer dry. And then I can add highlights in areas that I want to work. And some of the skin tone here, some of this needs to be adjusted a little bit. I need to add some warm and cool values in here. There we go. To create shadows. And tweaking a drawing always takes a lot of time. It's just taking it further than what I've ever taken a painting before is always a challenge, and not give up too soon on it. But I'm pretty happy with this one. You know, some paintings work right off the bat and really pull together. Some paintings don't. You have to fight for them. This one pulled together and did a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do right off the bat. And I was pretty happy with that. Sometimes that doesn't happen. You know, it's sometimes it's a battle of wills, yours against the painting. And when that happens, it's very often you're learning new things. And I just have to keep that in mind and not to get too frustrated when things don't work. But when things do work, it's a joy. You know, it's pretty much you know, sit back and kind of watch that. Oh wow! If I, you know, like it just works really nicely. And so that's always fun to have that happen. So essentially getting there, pretty close. I'm pretty happy with this. And I'll zoom you in so you can look at it close.